Episode 48.
Smile with your whole face. Piggy is so big like this. So this week, one of the evenings this week when I was watching TV, we are having a bit of a problem with our internet Wi-Fi connection. So I had to watch something that was on the drive on the TV rather than Netflix or whatever else I normally watch series or. And there wasn't much. I was like scrolling through it and I eventually found Notting Hill. So I thought, okay, that was cute and, harmless enough. And I didn't feel like all the other actions and thrillers and history dramas and that were on the drive. So I thought I'll watch that. And what struck me and what I've always loved about Julia Roberts, and I mean, who knows what actors and actresses are like in real life, but she smiles with her whole face. I mean, that woman smiles and just her entire face lights up. She's got she laughs and you just cannot help feeling like happy when you watch that like enormous smile that she does. I mean, I know she's got a bigger mouth and that she has, I mean, that's one of her beauty features almost. But it made me think about we did what is it called? The superhero pose. The feedback loop when you do something physical, that it actually has a feedback loop or it has an effect on your mental well-being or how you feel or how you act or your hormone levels at that time. And so not only is it true for things like doing the hero pose that you'll feel more confident, there's sort of the feedback loop of being bigger and all the rest of it. Rachel did think I was really ridiculous and I was telling her all of this in today's episode. Rachel's very self-conscious. She lost her she's got her full front teeth and then the two on this side, I don't know what those are called, and then the two on the bottom.
Your canines.
Yeah, I didn't no, because hold on, what teeth have you got? Look, just show me. Yeah, maybe it is your canines. They didn't come in for ages, so she did look a little bit like she only had front teeth and then gaps here, and then the ones at the bottom as well. So she just looked like she was.
And my molars fell out, so I've just got my front teeth and then chewed the back.
Yeah, but they can't see. So if from the side, she's always got a gap in her teeth, so she feels quite self-conscious about smiling at the moment. So it's just, yeah.
They're growing and
they are just starting to grow in now. Yeah. But it just made me think, and I was reading some scientific data on the feedback that if you do smile, it actually does make you happier. And if you're feeling really grumpy, you just have to sit kind of doing a manic grin for about 5 minutes, and then you should feel better. Well, that's the theory anyway. But very interested in the study I read was the thing about Botox injections. Not that I'm suggesting that we all rush out and have Botox injections, but apparently like a Botox injection they do here in your forehead.
What's a Botox injection?
I'm telling you now. It's the stuff that actually paralyzes the muscle, the nerve. So you can't move it. And if they do it wrong, like your whole face can go all funny. But they do it mostly in your forehead because you don't really need to use your forehead. I mean, if they did in your cheeks and your mouth.
What do they do?
But they inject this stuff into your forehead so it makes your wrinkles go away. So the muscles relax and therefore the wrinkles
How
lie.
long do they stay there?
I don't know. I can't remember. I mean, I'm never.
That's ridiculous.
It is
What
a bit-
about moving your eyebrows up and down?
It is a bit ridiculous. Anyway, but listen, there's a point. The point is the research says that you can't frown if you've had Botox. You can't frown. So you can't go like this and apparently they people felt happier. So they didn't report feeling any prettier or any less wrinkled or any younger, but they did report feeling happier because they couldn't frown. So maybe there's something in that. Maybe we all need to go to have Botox injections in our forehead so that you can't frown. And
How long
apparently,
does it stay paralyzed?
I don't know. I'm not sure how long it is.
I'd leave it stay. Don't make it forever.
I think it does wear off, but I mean, there are situations, I mean, there are nerves that travel all down their face. There are situations where, like, the wrong nerves have been hit and people can't. Anyway, so it's supposed to be
So
to
you'd
smooth
be
out
looking
your.
like this.
It's supposed to smooth out your wrinkles.
You'd look like this if they got it wrong.
So, something like that. So anyway, instead of Botox to make you not feel happier, just smile because that has the same effect. And you're gonna have wrinkles anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that made me think of all these things are leading. See, I even have notes this week. Everything leads on to each other. I'm pretty organized.
It wouldn't be useful for swimming because your goggles push up everything like this.
And then your your forehead would be falling down over your. Anyway.
You always have creases when you put on goggles.
Anyway, so I got a why don't you hold that? Sorry, it's just my coffee. It's Rachel's fault. She didn't leave enough space on the table in front of us where we record for my coffee cup, so I can't put the cup. I got a press release parcel thing from Dove.
What's press release?
Like when a company is wanting to do a campaign or an advertisement or something, so they sometimes use bloggers or people in social media to let other people know about the campaign. It's going to fall if you didn't leave enough space for the coffee cup. You have to be the coffee cup holder now. So if you go like this, hold your hand like this, and then you can be the coffee cup holder like that. Now don't move. No, just hold it straight. Okay. You comfortable?
Finish it.
No one wants to see me glugging coffee.
Well, put it down. There.
Okay, I must also check the time for. Right, so I got the Dove bag, and it was quite strange because I didn't tell you anything about it beforehand. So it came with a jar. There was nothing in the jar at first. It was just an empty jar.
It
So
smells like jar.
And then you get this piece of paper and 2 Dove soaps. So I'll give one to Rachel and one for me. And then you get these little notelets. Now, some of you that have been on Instagram will have seen this, and it's hashtagged Beauty Legacy. Okay, now what this is, it says nearly 3/4 of girls feel pressure to be beautiful, but are less likely to be anxious about their looks holding them back if they feel they have a positive role model. With a troubling 8 out of 10 women saying they dislike at least one aspect of their physical appearance, Dove is asking all women to make a difference in the lives of the next generation by ensuring their own beauty legacy is a positive one. So, they released this thing and how to use it. Basically, you write down positive messages and affirmations on the little notelets. Some of the things that you would have liked to hear said to your younger self, or that you wish now you could tell your younger self. Collect these notes in the jar and pass it on to the next generation of girls in your life as an example of positive affirmations. So, and then you can, when you have a negative thought, you can read up the messages in the jar. You can put little notes in your daughter's lunchbox or on her mirror or whatever. Have a dedicated notes board celebrating their achievements. And then there's a video that you can watch. Dove have done a video, and it's about these women, and then they talk about what they find unattractive about themselves. So one said she thought she had big arms, or she had whatever. I don't know if they asked them to write something, or if they just asked them to write what they do or don't like about their bodies. I don't know. And then you see all of them moaning about different aspects of them. And the one woman said that she loved her smile and her face, and that she thinks when you're happy and you're smiling that it just, your whole, it makes her, she said she thinks it makes her face look younger or whatever it was. And then they asked the daughters, and they weren't that much older than Rachel. I think some of your age and even younger, to write down on a piece of paper what they thought their beauty flaws were or how they felt about their body. It was so interesting that the girls mirrored the things their mom had said they didn't like about themselves. And yet the mom that had said that she really liked her smile and her face, the little girl said she's got a beautiful face and that she loves to smile or something like that. I'll put a link to the YouTube ad. It's quite a cute ad. And so I think it really says that the messages that we say about ourselves impact our daughters and the next generation and people like that. So do I ever say anything about myself or
No.
my body or whatever? Never.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. I'm doing better. I'm doing better than I thought then. But I think we do have to be careful. It is so easy to be self-critical. And I think over the years, I really have had to work hard on loving myself and enjoying. I'm very tall, very tall. I suppose that's something I moan about.
Yes,
Hey?
you do moan about
I do moan about being tall.
that. And that you can't wear high heels.
I can't wear high heels and things, which is silly. It's my own limitations, really nothing else. Um, and yeah, I suppose that is something and I'm sure, yeah, it's probably not. It's not something other people would think was such a big thing. But I've spent most of my life trying to be smaller, and well, you just kind of tend to hunch your shoulders more. You don't kind of what Cara Alexander, because Alexander technique is all about like your body alignment and being a lot of musicians and actors and actresses use it because it helps you to be stand correctly when you act. And a very sort of simplified version is your head is kind of the top of your body, and you shouldn't really sort of slouch forward or have your head forward. Your head is almost on like balancing on top of your neck, like a soccer ball kind of thing, and you imagine a string through the top sort of pulling you up. And Karen always says, take up your full height, be your full and it takes me quite a long time because I always seem to have shorter friends. Like a lot of my friends are very short. And so then I was always trying to be shorter.
And Papa is.
And Papa's shorter, yeah. My husband is shorter than me. And it doesn't bother him in the slightest. It bothers me. I feel a bit gargantuan, actually, again. Anyway, so, I'm learning to deal with that. And I even bought high heel shoes. Remember those shoes that I got for Christmas that I showed you all? I mean, so, yeah.
But those aren't too high.
No, they're not. But I mean, they're a decent heel. I mean, I'm already almost 6 foot, so yeah. So anyway, this has gone on a bit longer than I thought. So I'm going to do some little notes for Rachel to go in her beauty jar, her sort of beauty legacy jar, and the hashtag is beauty legacy. If anybody, and I know some of you have already, both on Instagram and on email and Ravelry have sent me messages for Rachel. If any of you want to send the next generation messages that you wished you knew when you were younger about beauty and about yourself and about just what's important, really, that whatever it is, from don't stress about shaving your legs or whatever. I've always told her to put these things off for as long as possible. But I know as a swimmer, when she competes one day, she's going to probably have to. I mean, even the boys shave their legs in swimming. Apparently, those few little leg hairs make a speed difference or something.
The boys shave everywhere.
Yeah, I think they do. If they've got chest hair or whatever, they have to shave or wax everything. So, yeah. I think waxing is probably better for you if you do it. Go and get your legs waxed or something. Anyway, talking about that, so this is not in my notes. This is a complete aside. I saw that Cara on Instagram was kind of claiming her hairy legs. She hadn't shaved in a while, and she said she started doing it when she walked the dogs. She would just walk with her, shorts or whatever, and not really care if she shaved her legs or whatever. And then she went out. I think they went to the zoo or they went on a trip, and she's like, "Well, hairy legs, I don't care. I'm going out if I want to." And I hate shaving my legs. And I've had them waxed for a few times, but with 3 kids and finding time to go and do it, and if we do it at home, then there are always those couple of hairs that you don't quite get. And I don't really do it. So, especially now it's winter, I have not shaved in ages. I think my leg hairs are about as long as Papa's right now.
No, they're not.
Not quite as long. I mean,
they're not. You can't see them.
Well, you see, Rachel says you can't see them. I think you can. And I was thinking last night as I was putting cream on, I wonder if I could do it. I wonder if I could go for a whole year and wear whatever I wanted to wear and not shave my legs.
No. You've even said I'm not wearing skirts.
I know, but shouldn't we challenge these beauty preconceptions? Why do we have to sit and shave our legs all the time and go with these sort of I mean, I'll probably always shave under my arms because I think that underarm deodorant and stuff like that tends to work better. And yeah, I know it's not in all cultures. I know certainly in Europe, underarm hair is not a big thing as it is probably in England and America and South Africa. So I don't know. I was wondering if, like, because sometimes you need to challenge yourself to feel uncomfortable. You need to challenge yourself to think outside of your body norms and things that you would normally do. Could I go for a whole year and not shave my legs? And not only wear jeans the whole time or long skirts. I do have a lot of long skirts. I wear a lot of long skirts. But could I do it? Could I actually wear a dress and go out with hairy legs? I couldn't, or you don't want me to.
I know you couldn't.
I wonder if I could. I have to think about that. I might challenge myself on the blog if I'm brave. Brave enough. Anyways, any notes for Rachel about beauty stuff or things that you wish you knew when you were younger, or just that we can stop burdening younger people with our beauty? There's so much in the media about look right and eyebrows like this. And I remember when I was growing up, thin eyebrows were the thing. Like you needed to have thin, very plucked eyebrows. Now apparently fuller eyebrows are the thing. And there are all these tips on YouTube about how to grow your eyebrows in, because so beauty things change. And also, like, you told me this way and then you told me this way, and then you mustn't be, I don't know. I remember Titus was once lying on my lap. Was it Titus or was it Caleb? I can't remember. And he was lying on my stomach and he was kind of squidging my stomach, and he said, Mommy, something about, I don't know if he said, why is your tummy wobbly, or why, I mean, I've had 3 children. I'm quite in touch with the fact that I've got a wobbly tummy. And I said, my boy, mommies have to have soft tummies so that you can lie on them. Mummies need to be soft and cuddly. So he quite like that. I think that's half the reason you put, boobs and soft tummies and all of these kind of things. It's a bit of hugging padding when you've got children and they need to cuddle. Anyway, so I always try to put a positive spin on it. And I remember my mum always used to tell me I had a big bottom. Yeah, Granny always told me I had a big bottom. I don't know why.
How old were you?
I can't remember. Anyway, so I always had this thing about it, and then until with the children, we used to do this thing where if I do this dance for them, like what's those terrible people that do that bum wobbling dance on TV? What's it called? It's called something. It's terrible. They dance with these skinny hot pants, like almost like up their bum, and then they do this whole thing where they wobble their bum. It's called something. Basically, I mean, ours is a much more primitive form of this, where the children and I will dance, and then I'll wobble my bum. I mean, I don't have a firm, and then the children will kill themselves laughing and think it's hilarious. But Papa's not allowed. Hey, Papa's not allowed, and Papa doesn't have any bum that can wobble. We guys got to. I don't think Papa wants us to talk about his bum on the podcast. Okay, before this degrades anymore, let's move on to something else. So, something else to make me smile, because that leads nicely on from there. See, I wrote notes and it all follows on. Was that I won a pattern. So remember, I was knitting madly, trying to finish all the socks last month because we were entering various knit-alongs, and I entered my White Sandy Beach cable socks and my Jake socks into the Knitted Paradise, which is the Pearl of the Pacific's podcast, because she was doing that sock knit along to launch her pattern, the White Sandy Beach socks, and also it was just a general sock knit along. So my White Sandy Beach socks weren't actually the ones that won. It was actually the Jake socks that was my entry that won, but I won a sock pattern. So that was quite cool. So I could go choose any sock pattern that I liked. So I really wasn't sure what to choose, actually. And I generally knit vanilla socks or quite simple socks. So I thought maybe I should try something a little bit more interesting. And then there were lots of patterns and lots of different things and lots of very popular designers and stuff. And then as a sort of a smaller indie designer, and I thought, I think I'm going to support another indie designer. And Louise Tilbrook, I've always liked her sock designs. And I really thought I wanted to support her and her, I'm not going to say this right. I never say these things right. There should be awards for mispronunciation in podcasts. I think it's
Learberry.
I think it's a Learberry or Blauberry or something. It's an older word for
Blueberry.
a blackberry, I think, actually, and not the phone. The fruit that you pick. I'm going to tell you now. I should have got this.
When you're in England, you can go around and into the woods and pick them.
I know they're everywhere. You can
And you can go
pick
pick
blackberries
them in
everywhere.
blackberry season.
We don't get that. We don't really get blackberries.
You
like
don't
that.
really get berries here.
Not like that, no.
Cherries, but
Yes, we can go cherry picking at
you get
excuse me, in November.
November.
October, November. So they are called. So Blearberry Tarn sits below Red Pike in Buttermere, a favourite for family picnics. Blearberry is also the Old English word for blackberry. Yeah, so we were right. And this is the lashed purple yarn that reminded me of. So now let me show you. Sally said I should use my notebook rather than my phone when I do this. And I would have, but because my internet's not working, I can't get up. And that's coming up very blue on there, but it's actually much more purple. So it's a plain sock, and then it's got this kind of twisted slip stitch cable thing down the side of the sock, which I really like. So that is the pattern I asked to be gifted to me. There you can see it as it goes down the whole sock towards the foot. So that's by Louise Tilbrook, and I really highly recommend that you go and look at her sock patterns because she's got some really lovely sock patterns, interesting details, quite a lot with cables and just really interesting socks. And she's got some nice other patterns too, some shawls and there's the fuss-free baby cardigan and a whole heap of things. So go and check out her patterns. I really like supporting indie designers and you know, people that aren't always the biggest name in patterns. And so yeah, thank you very much to Lucia from the Pearl of the Pacific podcast. Thank you for, well, I mean, I know it's random, but I've never won anything on a podcast. We enter all these knit-alongs, and then so it was quite exciting to. Okay, so the dogs are finished, but it's rubbish day. So the rubbish trucks are coming outside, and then all the dogs down the street bark before the trucks come, and the dogs can hear them barking, and so we have to have a whole chorus going on about it's rubbish day, let everyone know it's rubbish day. Stupid dogs. Anyway, so I won a pattern. I was really delighted about that. And that's it. I think we must go on to knitting. We've been blathering about for a while now, and we haven't actually talked about knitting. Right, so what are we knitting? Are you going to go first with your kitty?
I can't because I'm not even nearly finished the row.
I mean, you can show it in the middle of the row, can't you?
No.
So we're both knitting vertebrae. I'm knitting a mama vertebrae. Rachel's knitting a kitty vertebrae because Wool Diaries, Sally, is having a vertebrae along on her group. So you can go and check that out. I think there is still time if you knit the slightly thicker one or if you knit very fast to still come and join and finish one in time. The idea is that you have August and September to knit a mama vertebrae or a normal vertebrae, whatever it is.
What's a normal vertebrae?
Well, any of the vertebrae. I think it's the baby vertebrae, there's the kitty vertebrae, and then there's the mama vertebrae.
Caleb asked where's the
There's
boy
no papa vertebrae.
Caleb asked where's the boy vertebrae?
There's no boy vertebrae either, I'm afraid. So I am knitting mine, as I said last time, out of the Owl Elite, which is the 50% wool and 50%
You're very full.
cotton. Yes, I know, because I just want to wear it now. I just want to be finished. So there's my...
I last saw you when you were there.
Well, last week I hadn't split for the sleeves yet, so I've knitted this bit.
But I last saw you the other day on this stripe, and then you've just done that.
Yeah. Well, I have been knitting on it quite a lot because I'm really enjoying it, and I want to wear it now. I want to have, you know, I've knitted a couple of sort of smaller tops that have gone well, but the towel was kind of came out a bit small, and then the Sylvia I ripped because it would be better in the bulky weight, and I just needed a successful garment. So I really just want to finish this to feel like I have a garment success. And so I'm just kind of bombing along. I know Sally normally splits off for this when she joins it for the sleeves. She then goes and knits the sleeves because she doesn't like the weight of the body while she's knitting the sleeves. But I was kind of just trucking along on the body, and I just kind of wanted to get it done. So I've kind of got on with the body, and then a little bit more, and then I'm going to do the bottom rib, and then pick up for the sleeves, and then the hem the whole way around. So there's the front, and I'm a bit of an idiot. So I wanted to buy.
Because you're not supposed.
You're not supposed to say that, are you? I
was a bit silly.
I was a bit silly in that Sally had said if you want more coverage across the front when you're knitting the mama vertebrae, you must carry on with the raglan, like you must. And I just, in my head, which doesn't make sense now, especially since I've designed things on a raglan, I was thinking that she meant after you split the armholes, you just carry on. And of course, how can you carry on the raglan after you split? It doesn't make any sense. Unless you're going down the front, but you aren't. You're just increasing down here. So anyway, I didn't. I only did every other row.
So you're going to have a very...
Yeah, but I'm planning to do quite a broad rib. So hopefully the panel I'm planning to do the front is a bit thicker than the one. I quite like the look of, there's a thing called Anne's Sweater or something from Anne of Green Gables. And it looks like a very similar design. And it's got a garter rib. And so I think basically it's like a normal rib, but instead of every row doing knit purl, knit to purl to knit to purl, you do that, and then the next row you just knit the whole row. So it's kind of like spaced in between. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do it quite a bit thicker. If you look at the Anne's Sweater, I think it's called Anne's Sweater, you'll see on there that it's got quite a bigger rib, and so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll just have to knit another one if I like it, but I want, more coverage in the front. So as you can see, I'm doing the yellow stripes as I've gone along. And that's actually quite nice. It does break up a solid color. Like, I need to knit 16 rows and then I get to put in another stripe. So you kind of knit another few so you put your next stripe in or whatever. So that's my mama vertebrae.
Are you going to have stripes on your arms?
Yeah. The same distance, but not stripes in the band. It's the same distance apart, but these stripes for the arms. So that is my mama vertebrae. Is your row finished yet?
No.
No.
I'm halfway. Will you finish it?
So Rachel is doing Rachel is doing the kitty vertebrae. Look, she really is, and she's trying very hard. She's a looser knitter, and so when we tried her on the recommended needle size, she found it to be a bit loose. She also likes her garments a bit. We had a joke that Rachel wants to knit armor, because the Nora is quite stiff to start with. And then she's now, instead of knitting it on a 325, she's actually knitting it on a 275. So she does knit looser, which I have to remember when I'm helping her. But it is a little bit tighter, but she likes that. She likes it to be a fairly dense fabric. Let me see if I can show you how far
Make sure you show the straw.
I'm trying. So that is where we are. So I think this has gone through almost all the colors. So I think it starts going back to this first pink.
From this pink, it starts going. So from that pink, it fades into this pink.
This pink, yeah. And then we so that's the sort of spectrum of colors. So although we are almost at the point where she would split off for the sleeves, because our needles are slightly smaller, the row gauge is a little bit different. So we're just going to have to knit on a bit. What I will measure on her is if the sleeves, if I should stop doing the increases on the sleeves or slow them down and then carry on with the increases on the before the raglan before the sleeves, but not necessarily the stitches over the sleeves, so your armholes don't become too big. So Rachel's is living in her bag from Aileen that she got in her last swap.
So it lives in here. Do you want me to show you?
Oh, I've got a frog in my phone. A frog in my throat, it feels like today. So that's the yarn in the ball, and we've gone through almost all the colors now. So Sally has divided it up for Rachel with how many rows she has to knit each day, and then she gets a stitch count where she's supposed to be at and all the rest. And so Rachel knits 1 or 2 rows. Because she's chosen a much smaller needle size, it takes, it's a stiffer knit. It doesn't, I knit this one, for example, much slower than I knit my own mama vertebrae. I can knit that one much faster. So this one, it is a bit of a stiffer knit. The yarn through your fingers is a bit stiffer. But Rachel said she likes it if we need to knit armor. She doesn't want it to be too
I hate holes in my knit.
stretchy. You know, she wants this to be fairly this is a fairly dense fabric, but that's apparently what she wants. So we'll just adjust the row depth accordingly, which just means a little bit more knitting for her mother, who's keeping her on track. So I think she has to knit between 4 and 6 rows a day. I think it's a bit more now because our rows are our row gauge is a bit different. So Rachel knits 1 or 2, and Mom knits 4 or 5 a day. So that's Rachel's kitty vertebrae. But you know, she's only got 2 months. She's a kid. She's knitting in fingering weight. I'm knitting mine in DK. And I thought it was more important for her to keep up and enjoy the process of knitting with other people, even if she only knitted half the rows and her mother knitted the rest. Rather than forcing her to, or that she'd get behind and then I know if she gets a couple of rows behind, a few days she doesn't knit or something, and she's suddenly 10 rows behind, she'll be so demotivated, she'll stop doing it. So it is, can we put it on as a combined project then?
No.
Or are you claiming all the glory for it?
All of mine.
You're claiming all the glory, okay. So I'm just helping her to knit this, and that's mostly what we've been doing for our mama vertebrates. Right, what else have we been knitting? Have we got any more time to tell anything else before we fetch Titus? Okay, we've got a few minutes.
We have to fetch him in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Right, so what else have we been knitting? My August socks, which of course live in my fantastic Flower Power bag from Sally, Wool Diaries, and her shop called Yarn Bling, so go and check it out. Right, here are my... If you want to see how fantastic these socks are, go and check out Sally Wool Diaries podcast, because she is an extremely speedy knitter, but also she only knitted on those socks. Since she cast them on, she just sped through both of them sort of solidly last weekend. And she's finished both using all the yarn, and then the one sock goes this way up and the other one goes the other way down. I know she's wearing them today. And go and have a look how amazing they look. So Wool Diaries podcast, if you don't watch her, and she's great, she's really awesome, you have to watch her. And she has finished, because there's 3 rainbows. There's the pastel colored rainbow, this in the middle is the bright rainbow, and on the end here is the jewel tones. I've just started the red of the 3rd rainbow. So it's 3 rainbows.
I thought this was the jewel tone one.
No.
Was that the bright?
Yeah.
Scream in your face.
And then the jewel tone is always like a little bit darker, like it's got a bit of, I presume, a little bit of black in the color to sort of tone it. It's on the darker spectrum of the color. So these are the August socks for Women's Day in August in South Africa, celebrating women, the diversity, the Rainbow Nation. Women are multifaceted and multi-skilled and all sorts of things like that. So that is our socks. And as I said, Sally has finished her pair, going one sock the one way and the other sock the other way. So if you want to go and check out, that's what she's doing. She's done it already. I did my heel in a contrast gray because I didn't want to break up any of the stripes on the front. So I did a darker gray. Help me.
Charcoal.
No, Fish Lips Kiss heel. Why don't you know what I want to say? So I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel, so that I didn't break up any of the stripes or lose any of the stripes, you know, going up. And I want to use all the yarns, although this is almost at the point where I would be starting the
Mom's going
ribbing.
to have knees.
I'm going to have longer socks. I've still got this much yarn left, and I'm going to make these a bit longer. So I am doing a few increases at the back. I don't have big calves, but I think if they're going to go up and stay up over the, you know, it's not going to be knee length at all. They'll be sort of maybe mid calf. I will need to do a few sort of increases. So I read somewhere to do 2 increases in the back every 10 rows or something like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
The socks.
Yeah.
Why don't you knit 5 pairs and then you could break the world record?
5 pairs?
A month.
Well, it won't break the world record. There's a couple of people on Ravelry who've knit way more than that. Somebody that knitted like 16 pairs in a month or something. 20, I don't know what the record is. 20 something, I don't know. There's a couple of people that knit, no, I'm not.
Okay.
And I don't knit that fast, and I'd get bored if I only knit socks all the time like that. So this is the August socks.
But you could be carrying the Guinness World Records.
No, I don't need to.
You
I've
do.
no desire to be a sock knitter in the Guinness Book of World Records. Besides, I'm not continental. You're going to knit that fast. You need to knit continental.
You
that's
can't
the-
tell when you're continental.
I don't know how to. There is a way because there are plenty of continental knitters at Pearl, so there must be a way to do it. We now need to go and fetch Titus from school, but he will be back and then he will show you his knitting later on because remember he got the little knitting parcel from Sally. So we have cast on and he has been doing. I think I told you last time and I put a little photo up, but I will show you when we get back. Hello and welcome to the Pink Hair Girl podcast. My name is Sally Jane and this is Rachel, and we are back from fetching Titus from school. Rachel informs me in the car that I just started the podcast and didn't actually say hello and welcome and who we were. So I have now said hello and welcome and who we were. But I have told you in previous podcasts that we don't really always do a formula, and sometimes I forget and I need to tell you stuff and I don't.
I remember.
I was already talking, so you don't want to ever do the introduction and say hello, I'm Rachel and blah blah blah.
Because
You always want me to do that.
You always are supposed to. It's your bit.
Is that my bit? You see, I don't like bits. I like just saying whatever I write notes. I made notes today. We have notes.
And did you say hello and welcome?
No, because I always remember that. And then this time, because I'm following my notes, I didn't. Hello and welcome. Please feel very welcome. And if this is your first time watching, I can't say this is not what it's usually like, because it is. We're a bit of chaos. Okay, back to the knitting. We have fetched Titus. He is watching Cars with headphones on. And
what's your next object?
What are we working on next? Right, so my very good friend Claire, who is Knits for Klipskarp on Ravelry, and has the Yarn and Pointy Sticks blog and Yarn and Pointy Sticks designs, is having a knit along on her group. It is called #KnitShareLove, because she says, eat, pray, love. This is Knit Share Love. So in the beginning of the knit along, what happened was between Sunday and Tuesday, I think it was last week. By the time you watched it would have been last week. You could say that you were going to join the knit along and which pattern you wanted to knit for the knit along, and nominate a friend that you wanted to knit it for, like sharing the love. Because she said knitters are nice people and we like to share and we're kind and that sort of thing. Hello. Where's your knitting? Go and look in. Go and look in that bag there. I think you stuck your knitting in there, and then you can bring it to show. Okay. So she had this thing, and then you could nominate the other person in between those. Was it 48 hours, 72 hours, or whatever it was? Everybody that had nominated someone and a pattern would then get their pattern, and their friend would also get the pattern from Claire, which was very kind of her. And the knit along will then carry on until the end of, so it started yesterday, the actual knitting part. So then she gifted everyone the patterns, and then the knitting part started yesterday, which I think was on
the 12th.
On the 12th, yeah.
Can
we just put your Slurpee bottle down while we're talking?
Wednesday.
Yeah. So she gifted everyone the patterns. You can still join, even if you haven't, if you missed the pattern sharing part, that you can still join and knit one of Claire's patterns. Any of her independently published patterns can be knitted for the knit along. Or maybe if you have one, I think you could pick any of the independently designed patterns for the giveaway part. But I presume if you've got a magazine that's got one of them in, you could knit that if you were just joining the knit along. I don't know. Ask Claire in case I'm wrong. So I picked a pattern for Sally, Wool Diaries, and I. We are knitting the Pawny. Is it Pawny? Pawny, yes. I went onto Google and asked them how to say that, so we didn't sound like plonkers. Do you want to show your knitting first, Mr. Man? Yes.
My knitting.
This is your knitting bag. Open your bag. Who made you this bag?
Sally.
Sally, that's right.
And she said,
You did 2 rows yesterday, didn't you?
yeah, and this is my whale that I'm casting.
This is your whale. We're knitting a whale, aren't we? Yes. Look at that lovely whale that we are making. Do you want to knit a row with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, hold the sticks like that. Okay, let's go. Oops. In there. Oh, let's hold it a little bit closer to the end so we can get the yarn.
Yeah,
Put it around the stick. Put it around that one. Oopsie. Oh, that's it. Through, and now you go off. That's it. Pull it off. In. Round.
The check one.
Through and
Off.
off. Oh, in through the window. Run around the back. Out through the window and back door, and off jumps Jack. Something like that.
Yes.
In through the front door, run around the back, out through the window, and off jumps Jack. Okay, do the yarn round. That's it. Oopsie, oopsie. In, put your yarn round. That's it. Oops, oh, wait, hold on, we've got to put the stitch on first. There we go.
Is this your first?
There's your knitting. Can I finish the row for you?
No.
No. You want to put it away like this? Okay. Right, there you go. Are you going to go finish watching Cars?
I'm just still show them my knitting.
But I thought you asked me. You want to show your new boots? Okay. Right, who's on your new boots?
A shark.
A shark.
Yeah.
There we go. And how many did you get? 1 pair. 2 boots. How many feet have you got?
2.
2. Well, then that's very lucky that you got 2 boots for 2 feet. Not like Mr. Magnolia, who has only 1 boot. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. He only had 1 leg.
No, he did have 2 legs, but he only had 1 boot. And then the little girl brings him another boot in the end. Remember? We'll have to read that story again. Right. Can I quickly finish and you go and watch the rest of your movie?
Yeah, but
Okay.
my boots on.
Put your boots back on.
It looks like I'm going that way.
It does look like you're going that way, doesn't it?
And I'm pointing that way.
It does. The camera makes it opposite. Right, jump down. Off you go.
Why does it make it opposite?
It's like a mirror.
Why?
It just is.
Okay.
Okay. So that was Tice's knitting. We told him after school that he could come and show his knitting. He doesn't last very long.
3 or 4 stitches.
3 or 4 stitches, and sometimes he'll let you finish the row, and sometimes he won't.
I did a row for him yesterday.
Did you? Apparently, we are knitting a whale. Not really sure how we're going to knit a whale. I'm thinking if we just knit a rectangle and fold it in half, and then pinch the near the bottom, and then only stuff the front,
And put a button on.
and put a button on the eye, that it will look like a whale. That's the plan. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Yes, Claire's knit along. So I nominated Sally, Wool Diaries, and I to do the pony, and I have started that. It is a shawl, a very beautiful shawl, which is knit in percentages, which is always nice. She gives you the exact numbers if you want to do, if you want to knit to a certain number of stitches, then that's cool. Then she gives you that as well. But if you've got she'll give you the percentages of yarns. If you use this many grams here, then use this many grams in this of everything else. So it's quite easy. You can just knit, if you divide it up, you can just knit until your yarn is finished in each section. So I am using my Jaeger Matchmaker 4-ply merino that I got in a D-stash from Instamatic Luli on Instagram. And I think she's just Luli on Ravelry and then Instamatic Luli for her Instagram. It's cool, isn't it? So I got the yarn from her. It's all I had very little solid or semi-solid colors of
That weight of yarn?
In sock weight yarn.
Because most of yours are indie.
Most of my, yeah, but a lot of them are variegated. I had very little, especially sock weight, a lot of it's variegated. I seem to have very little semi-solid sock yarn, which is why I probably don't knit a lot of pattern socks, because they look better in sort of semi-solid or solid colors. But hopefully I can show you soon. I got some Tiny Giraffe. Helena is moving, and so she was having a D-stash, and she had some semi-solid. And because I got the pattern, the, what do we say, blaeberry, blue, blah,
Flowerberry.
whatever, tarn pattern from the knit-along that I won, I thought semi-solid yarn would look better, so I have some coming from Helena. I haven't even shown you yet. So this is the Pwani, and it is really beautiful. And so you have a solid color, your main color, and then you have sort of colors getting lighter, or I mean, you could do any colors in between that match. Claire's doing an amazing variety of ones on her Instagram. Look here. She's going to do them grey with those. The one that Claire's doing for her, that she's doing for the knit along, is going to be in these colours with the main colour in grey, which is really gorgeous. I'm very jealous.
Claire likes grey.
Claire does like grey. So what I have chosen that I had were, the one is Nurturing Fibres. It's not,
What's its name?
I don't know. It was a pink, and then I'm going in sort of ever lightening shades of pink, like that.
Aren't these the same?
Yeah, it's just the, yeah, I suppose it'll be like that. And then if you imagine the purple is in between every time, so it's like the purple and then the bright pink and then the purple and then this pink and then the purple and this pink, and then I'm ending, I think, with grey.
Is this enough rib?
You do a little bit more, just 1.5 inches. My thumb is about 1 inch there, so you need 1.5 inches, so it's a little bit more. So the first section, I'm doing that first bit, which is the garter bit, you know, the first blue bit up at the top there, which is what I'm doing. And that is this here. Now, a note on substituting yarns. If you just read the pattern quickly, you would think that it was a fingering weight yarn. It says light fingering weight, which is a 3-ply, and this is actually important because the this is Mabel and Ivory. It's also a 45% merino, no, 50%, 55% cotton. So it's going to have a bit of drape to it, which mine doesn't. Mine's 100% merino. And this is 350 meters per 50 grams, which is quite a lot more than a normal sock weight. It is quite a lot thinner. So, did you just knit the tail in? You just knitted with the tail. Rachel just knitted the tail end of a yarn. So, I have gone up a needle size because I'm not using cotton. There's no cotton in mine, so it's not got drape, and my yarn is quite a bit thicker. So instead of knitting on a 3.5, I'm actually knitting on a 4. Also, because remember a couple of weeks ago I said that I got these really nice carbons to try in a 4 to knit my Mama Vertebrae on. Well, my Mama Vertebrae on, people apparently say that your carbons you tend to knit a bit looser anyway, and it was very loose. And because it's got cotton in it, I was worried that I don't want my Mama Vertebrae to hang, you know, to stretch out of shape, which cotton does have the ability to do. And while you might not mind that in a shawl, you certainly will mind that in your garment. So I went down a needle size on my Mama Vertebrae, but in this one, the Pwani, I've actually got up a needle size. I'm not knitting on a 3.5, I'm actually knitting on a 4. So I know that I'm probably going to use more yarn than the pattern calls for, but I've got quite a bit of this color. The only one I'm a little bit short on is this little one. The others I've got, I think you're supposed to have 10 grams of each. And I think I've got 14 of the bright pink, 12 of this, and I've got 2 of these, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to knit until these are finished. It's just the way it's going to be. So that's my Pwani. The first section is supposed to be 152 stitches if you're going by the stitch number. Where am I trying to put this in the screen? And not the size. So I think I'm quite close. I was counting last night. And that's what I'm knitting for Claire's knit-along. So come and join that if you like. Caleb is knitting. Sally nominated Caleb to knit the licorice hat, which was very sweet. So he's very excited to have a little pattern and to be joining. And he's going to knit it out of this, which we're holding double.
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty. I'm going to tell you now.
What's
It's in my book. I stick all my
It's a very plump book.
yarn labels and sometimes a bit of the pattern, all cards or anything that somebody's a letter. If you send me a parcel and it comes with a letter or whatever, they all go. See all the letters and things going here. So Caleb is knitting on some Collinette, which is 100% merino, and we are holding it double. He's going to hold that double because the licorice pattern is a bulky pattern, and this should just about be right. It's about 120 meters, and if he holds it double, he will be slightly thinner than a bulky, but we'll just knit the slightly bigger size and it'll be fine. So I think that'll be great. So he's doing his and this color is called Dark Royal.
Looks like the sea.
Cadenza. Yeah, Cadenza.
Yeah.
From Collinette Yarns. And so it's got these blues and darks, and I think it's going to look really pretty. So he's knitting his hat out of that for the knit along. He's trying to finish his other hat. He cast on a hat out of the yarn that Sally sent him. So he's been steadily plodding his way through that, but it is a fingering weight, so it's taking a bit longer. I might need to get him to pause on that and just knit this slightly bulkier licorice. It'll be the first time I'm knitting an actual pattern with him. You know, we're going to have to do some yarn overs and two togethers and all the rest. But I'm hoping that there are enough plain rows in between, and then the pattern rows will just sit together and do that. And who did you nominate?
Cara.
Because you also joined together. Hey, Cara B. And what did you pick for your guys' pattern?
The licorice hat.
Also the licorice hat.
I didn't know Caleb had picked the licorice.
No, he didn't. Sally picked the licorice hat for him.
But I didn't know he had got it yet.
Okay. So don't you want to knit the same hat as your brother?
No. Because then he'll wear it on the same day.
I think it's going to look totally different. You wouldn't even know it was the same. Even in the pattern pages, the hats look quite different. Okay, so what are you knitting out of?
Can I just finish this row? I've got 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches left.
Come on, we're waiting for your 5, 6 stitches. 1, 2.
I don't knit as quick as Just
Anyway,
tell them what I'm knitting.
her yarn is a Cascades yarn.
Can
at
I
the
make
bottom
my
there.
row as long as I like?
Yes, essentially. Did I show this
I like-
these labels last time? That's the
Mom,
Collinette yarn that Caleb's using, and this one at the bottom here, this Cascades yarn, is what Rachel's using. This I got in a swap actually, and it is 100 grams equals 132 yards. So again, it's not quite a bulky, because a bulky is normally 100 grams is about 100 meters or about 90 meters. So this is a 50% llama and 50% wool, and the needle size is a recommended 9, which is a 6, I think. Whereas Claire's pattern,
gonna
the
go
needle size is a 6.5. Oh, that looks cool. So we've cast on for Rachel's one already today. So we're just on the ribbing section. So did I show the licorice hat? No, I think I just showed the poani. Hey.
can I show them, Mom?
Yes, show the hat salon.
Okay, so this is the yarn.
It's very nice.
It's
It's a
coming
bit
up
darker than that, but you can see it's got all sorts of.
there. as well.
It's purple, but it's got all sorts of pink,
It's got
red
a red
and,
twist and a white in it.
and purple, and it's really
And it's
very
got a
nice.
blue.
So the licorice hat is a bulky weight hat with little yarn over holes in it, if you know what I mean. So that's the licorice hat. And you see that in a more variegated like yours, this more not variegated, but a more semi-solid color, the holes look quite different, obviously, than the very bright ones. So I think what's that? something to eat. I'm going to make for you in a second. Yes. I have to starve the children around here to finish podcasts.
Boy.
I'm going to make in a minute, my
Boys.
darling.
It's
But they
boys.
eat constantly, yes. So you are doing your licorice hat in that 50% llama, 50% wool. So it should be very warm. Very nice. But it's got ventilation holes as well.
I need that.
And a big pom-pom.
I don't get. What color can I do the pom-pom on?
If you've got enough yarn left over, you can do that. Or you can make a contrast image.
Contrast.
Write something.
Can I
To.
have it while I wait for you?
Yes, you can have an apple while you wait.
Go watch your movie.
So that is Claire's knit along. So go and check that out on the Yarn and Pointy Sticks group. And of course, your hats you can enter. Well, you can. We have to knit hats along for our hat knit along here. I haven't.
I can't enter them.
No, you can't
But
enter it.
we
Sadly.
need to
But
have,
you can enter that into Claire's one. So
we need to have like a hat knit along, like a
we've
hat
got a hat knit along.
knit along every, like in general knit hat all the time.
Well, people can knit hats all the time. I'm not going to have a knit along all the time. So the yarn that I'm going to use to cast on my hat,
What hat?
with the helping of some people with their mama vertebrae and doing my mama vertebrae, and now casting on the Pwani to knit with Claire's knit along, my hat has, and trying to finish my August socks because I need to make them longer than normal. So I'm feeling a little bit of pressure, yes, to keep up with everything. So this is the yarn that I'm going to use. Remember that I got from Claire.
It is so pretty.
That is a present from her. It's hand spun. And I'm again not going to attempt. And I know that Helen Sprite 966 did tell me how to say all of this on her podcast, and I'm not even going to try. So you can read all the names on the front there. It's Welsh or Gaelic. No, not Welsh. Gaelic. It's in Scotland, and I'm not going to try. So I think it's Snar. Snar, whatever, I'm not
It
sure.
sounds like the food.
And the yarn is a DK sport weight, and it's called Summer Sunset. 50% British wool, 25% British alpaca, and 25% local Shetland wool. And I'm probably going to knit either the cornice. I'm going to knit a woolly wormhead pattern for this one. Since we did the review, I'm either going to knit the cornice, which is the one that kind of comes down over the ears.
In the pointy.
Yeah. Or I'm going to knit, what's the one called that's got the things up the side and the little bobble? There's
The light pole one.
the pinkish one with a bobble on the
The
side.
ones with the ones that look like little light poles.
Yeah, I guess they look like little light poles.
Or little lollipops.
Lollipops, yes. I'm not sure what that's called. Let's have a quick look on Ravelry. You see, if I have my computer next time, I can have all the windows open, all the pictures ready to go. But I can't
Silly
get
internet.
I can't get anything on that at the moment because of the Wi-Fi being down.
So you guys
Somebody
have to
knitted
wait
a Ellie knitted a vortice out of some L sock yarn. I think it was the blue toad one. But she mixed it with winelands, I think, and it looks lovely. I want to make that, but I've only got blue toad. Ellie, how often did you change colours? I'd love to know how you did your colours of the two different yarns, because I love the way yours has come out. So that was really cute to see. I thought it was a really sweet one. This was the other one, Geostrata.
Yes.
With the bubbles that Rachel likes. I think Rachel's vote was for this one.
And Titus's.
Oops, I've got the light shining.
Mine, Titus's.
Can you hold my phone straight? Sorry.
That's mine, Titus's, and Caleb's.
No, Caleb voted for the pom-pom.
Well, me and Titus voted for
And
that
the
one.
other one is the corners.
Which Sally and
And these are both DK. I'm thinking this looks a bit thicker than DK to me, though. That really looks, it says it's DK sport weight, but that looks a bit, I'm going to have to swatch. Who swatches for a hat? Come on, man. I know you have to swatch for a hat if you're going to get it dry, but this is the other one, the cornice. Is that one that goes down like that with the sort of ear
the little
flaps?
elf one.
Yeah, and the big pom-pom on the back. That photo isn't very clear.
It's not coming up right on your phone.
It was just because I enlarged the small picture. I'm now getting the big picture. I want to move.
Is this long enough yet? I've done 4 more rows.
You've done 4 more rows. You might have done 4 more stitches since we last spoke.
No, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's see if my thumb is about an inch. 1 more.
1.
There, is that clearer? There's the light shining on the screen. This is hopeless.
There we
Hope
go.
you get the idea. That's the hat. So what are your votes, people? Whether I do this one, the cornice, or the one with the little bobbles?
Which is the one you want?
I don't know. I'm thinking of the cornice, actually. I think it'll look nice in
Everyone must pick.
I think it'll look nice in that.
You have to wait.
I've got
till
another yarn that's got purple, bright sort of purples and stuff that I think would be quite nice in the little pom-pom, the one with the bobbles.
Oh,
The one from
Purple
Yarn
and
Stash, yes. I was thinking of that. And then I wanted the vortex out of the blue toed sock yarn. So I've got quite a lot of hat knitting to get on with. So in helping Rachel knitting her Mama Vertebrae and my Mama Vertebrae and the shawl by the end, this is all by the end of September, although by the end of August I need to have finished my August socks.
and pass on your September socks in September.
Yes, in September I need to do those. But by the end of September I need the August socks, the September socks, the 2 Mama Vertebrae, a hat and a shawl.
Ask Sally if you can cast your September socks on when it turns the 1st of September.
Well, I have to make sure she's got her parcel by the 1st of September. I've got the
Why?
yarn.
Why can't you say you get a head start because you...
Right, there's no races. I mean, she is finished, but it's just you have to finish it in that month. I must just hurry up with my August ones because they're going to be longer. I mean, normally I'd be
It's
finished.
just about halfway through.
Yeah, normally I'd be finished the socks because they're at the same length, but using up all the yarn, it's just going to mean, knitting a bit longer on each one. And that is all the knitting, I think. And then it's just your spinning left that you want to talk about.
We showed the Sylvie's month.
Yes, we're doing the Sylvie once a month. So yeah.
Okay.
And I did knit a little bit on that. I'm trying to do 3 or 4 rows every day. It's very big. So I mean, I've knitted a row, 3 or 4 rows on the front and the back and the side. So anyway, hopefully it all adds up. Okay, let's see your spinning.
Well, mine / Caleb's spinning.
You were trying to teach Caleb to spin, hey?
He did about so much.
He got a bit frustrated.
He won't listen to me when I teach him how to draw, though.
But you're a bit bossy. And you're his sister.
Caleb, pull the yarn. Don't let it spin up into the big fluffy piece.
I know, but you have to learn all this doing it for yourself. He said maybe when he's 10 he'll watch YouTube and do it himself rather.
Fine.
Anyway. I think this was the one marked Chevy in the pack that you got from Helena, Tiny Giraffe. If I remember correctly. And it's a very nice, light...
That's
not
coming
up at all, right? Put it all together, if you've got a slightly bigger volume, it's still coming out very light. It is a very light green. It's a little bit more pistachio colored. A little bit more green in it.
It's got white and green and...
It's too close. It's not a washed out grey at all. It really does have some sort of like a pistachio color, really. Hey?
And some of it's white.
Yeah.
So this is mine / Caleb's spinning. So I think I might steal this.
You've got to hold it still and
I might steal this because I like spinning.
not focusing. Hold on, let's just get it to focus. It's focusing on your face. It's covering your face. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the spinning. I don't know if you'll carry on. I think you're spinning that now.
Yes.
That would look quite nice with that pink and the little bits of purple. If you put the green and the pink and the purple all together in a
I could ply
stripy.
the pink. No, because there's more pink than there's green.
No, I wouldn't ply them together. I would just knit them in stripes in a hat.
Straps, yeah. That might
make
be
a
enough.
nice hat, yeah.
It might be enough for a hat.
Yeah. And I think that's it. Is that all we've got to say? There was something else I needed to remember to say, and I can completely not remember what it was. Hopefully it was one of these things I wrote down. I was sitting yesterday thinking I must remember to say whatever that was on the podcast, and I thought, let me write it down. And then something else happened and I didn't. And now I can't remember. So hopefully it's something I've covered.
Remember.
No idea. Anyway,
When we stop recording, it's
then I'll
going to
probably
come.
remember. Hey. So our message is smile. Even if you don't feel like it, the parrots will make you happy. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.